there are rivalries, and then there's this. For 15 years, football wasn't just a sport, it was a stage, and two men turned it into theatre. They weren't teammates, they weren't enemies, they were forces of nature colliding every week, every season, every era-defining moment. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, the magician and the machine, the prodigy and the perfectionist. One, born in Rosario, Argentina, a boy so small, doctors thought his dreams would outgrow his body. The other, from Madeira, Portugal, a boy so hungry that failure was never an option. Two stories, miles apart. Yet somehow, destiny decided they would share one stage. One club painted in blue and red, another dressed in pure white, Barcelona, Real Madrid. When they met, time stopped. The world didn't just watch football, it felt it. Children picked sides. Fathers and sons argued at dinner tables. Nations divided, not by borders, but by belief. Messi or Ronaldo? A question so powerful it outlived the games themselves. Because this rivalry wasn't about numbers, it was about identity. Messi made you feel, Ronaldo made you believe. One reminded us that genius can be quiet. The other proved that greatness can be built from obsession. Two men, two paths, one crown. But behind the glory, the records, the trophies, the headlines, lies a deeper truth. This isn't just a story about who was better. It's the story of how both became immortal. The story of how two kids with nothing gave the world everything. This is Messi versus Ronaldo, the war that defined a generation. Before they were icons, they were just boys with dreams bigger than their worlds. Rosario, Argentina, a working-class neighborhood. A small boy dribbling a ball that was almost as big as him. Lionel Messi, quiet, shy, obsessed. He wasn't supposed to make it. Growth hormone deficiency stunted his body. His parents could barely afford treatment, but every time he touched a ball, something happened, as if the universe paused to watch. His talent wasn't taught, it was felt. Then, across the ocean, a small island called Madeira, Portugal, a boy named Cristiano Ronaldo chased footballs down dusty hills. His home, humble, his family, struggling, his dream, bigger than life itself. At 12, he left home, alone. No money, no comfort, just ambition. He trained until he threw up. He cried at night, but he never stopped. Where Messi's gift was instinctive, Ronaldo's was man-made, forged through pain and obsession. Messi's story was about destiny. Ronaldo's story was about defiance. Two different paths, one shared obsession, to become the best the world had ever seen. By their teenage years, both were noticed, prodigies in different corners of Europe. Messi joined Barcelona's La Masia, a quiet kid who let his boots speak. Ronaldo signed for Sporting Lisbon, a teenager so fast, so driven, he terrified grown men. Both would soon cross paths with destiny. The early 2000s, football was ready for new heroes, and from two continents, two boys were preparing to change everything. The world didn't know it yet, but two legends were already in motion. Messi, the boy who could see patterns in chaos. Ronaldo, the boy who could bend reality through sheer will. Both carried the same fire, but burned in different colors. And as their stars began to rise, football was about to witness something it had never seen before. Not just greatness, but rivalry redefined. By the mid-2000s, the stage was set. In Manchester, under Sir Alex Ferguson's watch, Cristiano Ronaldo evolved from a skinny showman into a ruthless weapon. The step-overs, the flair, they were no longer tricks for applause. They became tools for destruction. In Spain, at Barcelona, a young Messi was rising too, silent, humble, yet unstoppable. When he played, defenders looked like shadows, chasing something they couldn't catch. He didn't run fast, he moved differently. His control was telepathic, his vision beyond comprehension. And then came the moment that changed everything. 2009, Ronaldo joins Real Madrid. The greatest rivalry football has ever known officially begins. Barcelona versus Real Madrid, Messi versus Ronaldo. Every El Clásico wasn't just a match, it was cinema. The world split in two. Messi fans saw art, Ronaldo fans saw power, but both saw history being written in real time. For a decade, they traded blows like heavyweight champions. Messi's dribbles that defied logic, Ronaldo's headers that defied gravity. Messi made you hold your breath, Ronaldo made you roar. They were the perfect contrast, like light and thunder existing together. and every time one scored, the other answered. Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, record after record. Ronaldo lifted Real Madrid, Messi defined Barcelona. Together, they elevated football to something beyond sport, something mythical. For an entire generation, football was just two names. You didn't say you were a fan of football. You said, I'm a Messi fan, or I'm Ronaldo all the way. Every kid in every street tried to curl a free kick like Ronaldo, or glide past defenders like Messi. It wasn't just about skill anymore, it was about identity. For the first time in history, football had two kings, and both ruled with a different kind of greatness. They weren't enemies, they were reflections of everything humanity admires and everything it desires to be. Messi, pure, natural brilliance. Ronaldo, relentless, unstoppable ambition. And the world couldn't get enough of either. By the way, if you're enjoying this story, please help us by liking this video now and subscribing to this channel. Doing so truly helps us grow here on YouTube. Plus, it also encourages us to do more football stories like this one. Now back to the video. Between 2010 and 2018, football entered its golden age, an era defined not by teams, but by two men who seemed untouchable. Every season was a duel, every record a weapon. Ronaldo, the predator, every muscle, every sprint, a symbol of perfection. Messi, the artist, every movement, every pass, an act of divine instinct. They didn't just chase trophies, they chased each other. When Ronaldo scored a hat-trick, Messi answered with 4. When Messi broke a record, Ronaldo shattered another. It was obsession, but a beautiful one. Ronaldo's fire fueled by critics who doubted him, Messi's silence fueled by a game that seemed to belong to him, and in the middle of it all, the fans. Millions choosing sides, defending their hero like family. Football became a global phenomenon, not because of goals, but because of emotion. You didn't just watch El Clásico, you felt it. The roar when Ronaldo scored in the Camp Nou, the tears when Messi silenced the Bernabeu. These weren't games anymore, they were chapters of mythology. Commentators ran out of words, writers ran out of adjectives. Unbelievable stopped being enough. And as they lifted Ballon d'Or after Ballon d'Or, something magical happened. They forced each other into immortality. Because if Ronaldo didn't exist, Messi's perfection wouldn't feel so impossible. And without Messi, Ronaldo's obsession wouldn't look so divine. They were each other's mirrors. Messi made football look effortless. Ronaldo made it look earned. Together, they gave an entire generation hope. Proof that greatness can be born and built. That there's more than one way to be legendary. And when we look back, this era, their era, will forever be the moment football touched heaven. Time. The only opponent no player can defeat. For more than a decade, Messi and Ronaldo made the impossible look easy. But even gods grow older. The pace slowed, the runs shortened, the debates grew louder. He's finished. He's not the same. Critics circled like vultures. Yet, the greatest never fade. They evolve. Ronaldo saw it first. He transformed from a flashy winger into a goal machine. No longer the step-over showman, but a cold, efficient executioner. Every movement calculated, every header, every strike, a statement. Messi adapted too. As his legs grew slower, his vision grew sharper. He began to see the game differently, as if controlling it from above. He stopped running for space, and made space run for him. Both knew their golden years were behind them, but their hunger never left. 2016, Ronaldo leads Portugal to their first ever European Championship. Injured in the final, tears in his eyes, shouting instructions from the sideline. Leadership redefined, passion immortalized. 2021, Messi finally lifts the Copa America, crying in blue and white. The boy from Rosario, once doubted, finally crowned by his country. Redemption complete. They were no longer competing for records. They were chasing peace. Ronaldo, now a symbol of fitness, longevity, and obsession. Messi, a living embodiment of grace, calm, and mastery. The world had changed. New stars had arrived. Mbappe, Haaland, Neymar. But the weight of Messi and Ronaldo still anchored football's soul. Every touch, every goal in their twilight years carried nostalgia. You could feel it, the end approaching. The rivalry that began with fireworks was now quiet thunder. Two men, still competing, but no longer for each other, for legacy. They had nothing left to prove, yet everything left to protect. Messi, moving to PSG, then the United States. Ronaldo, leaving Europe, taking his legend across continents. Some said they were chasing paychecks, but those who truly watched knew they were chasing meaning, because the greatest never retire. They just keep writing until there's no ink left. They had conquered Europe, defined an era, and inspired billions. The final whistle hadn't blown yet, but the applause had already begun. They had turned a rivalry into something sacred, proof that greatness doesn't die, it evolves. Numbers tell part of the story. Over 1,000 goals combined, dozens of titles, dozens of records shattered. But greatness was never just statistics. It was the way they made us feel. The goosebumps when Ronaldo scored a last-minute winner. The tears when Messi dribbled through 5 defenders like a whisper in the wind. It was in the silence after their magic, when the crowd didn't know whether to scream or just smile. They changed football, but more than that, they changed people. Kids across continents didn't just watch them, they became them. From the boy in Africa wearing number 7 from the street, the girl in Buenos Aires wearing number 10, believing she could make history too. Messi and Ronaldo transcended language, nationality, even logic. They turned football into a shared global heartbeat. But what truly defined them wasn't their trophies, it was their philosophy. Messi showed that genius can be humble, that you can let your work speak louder than your ego. Ronaldo proved that limits are illusions, that you can build greatness one repetition, one sacrifice at a time. Messi taught us that talent is a gift. Ronaldo taught us that obsession is a choice, and both taught us that you can't fake greatness, you must live it. Even now, their shadows stretch across every stadium, every generation of players chasing echoes of their magic. For years we debated who was better, but maybe the truth is simpler. Messi gave us beauty, Ronaldo gave us belief. One touched the soul, the other the spirit. Together, they gave us hope, because in their rivalry, we saw every version of ourselves, the dreamer and the fighter, the artist and the warrior. And maybe that's why it hurts knowing their story is ending, because when they go, a piece of our childhood goes with them, but legends never truly leave. They live in the echoes of stadiums, in YouTube highlights, in arguments that never end. Messi and Ronaldo will fade from the pitch, but never from the heart of football. And one day, when new stars rise and new rivalries form, we'll look back and whisper, we were there. We lived through the greatest rivalry the sport has ever known. And we'll smile, because we witnessed not just players, but the purest definition of greatness. So, who is the GOAT? Maybe that's the wrong question. Because greatness isn't a scoreboard, it's a feeling. It's the sound of 90,000 people gasping as Messi ghosts past a wall of defenders. It's the echo of Ronaldo's celebration reverberating across stadiums. It's the arguments, the memes, the posters on bedroom walls, the way they made football personal. We didn't just watch Messi and Ronaldo, we grew up with them. Their rivalry was the soundtrack of our youth. Every weekend, every Champions League night, they gave us something to believe in. Messi showed us that you can be quiet and still command the world. Ronaldo proved that the loudest roar can come from relentless discipline. 2 different men, 2 different philosophies, yet both arrived at the same place, immortality. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the GOAT debate was never meant to have an answer, because the real magic wasn't choosing between them. It was watching them exist together. They pushed each other. They challenged limits. They made the game transcend sport into something poetic, human, eternal. Years from now, when new fans talk about greatness, they'll talk about stats, records, and trophies. But we'll remember moments. The night Messi humiliated defenders at the Bernabeu. The night Ronaldo silenced the Camp Nou. Those aren't just highlights, they're memories of magic. So who's the GOAT? Maybe it doesn't matter, because the truth is, we were blessed to live in their time, to witness 2 different roads leading to the same destiny. One born to play the game, the other built to conquer it. And together, they defined what greatness truly means. Messi and Ronaldo, forever football's greatest story. Now it's your turn. Between Messi and Ronaldo, who is your ultimate GOAT? Drop your answers in the comment below. Let's see which legend wins. And if you've made it this far, you're one of us. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to you for watching, and to everyone who has been supporting our channel from the very beginning. Honestly, we couldn't do this without you guys. If you're new here and haven't already done so, please help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel. Doing so is the only way we can continue to grow here on YouTube. I genuinely need you guys. I love telling stories, and as a small channel, we're constantly learning from each video and always listening to your feedback so we can improve every time. And if you want more football stories, watch the video displayed on your screen right now. See you on the next one.